I can speak up.
Okay.
Maricel and Evelyn, I just have to know that that family is okay, and I want them to be reunited in the United States, and if not in the United States, in Mexico. What happened to them?
Well, one of the things that was very hard for us as filmmakers was that moment, because we knew that it was very dangerous for them what they were doing, but we couldn't interfere in their decision. And then you wonder, what's your responsibility as a filmmaker of documenting this, but also of if something happens, what's going to happen? Should I speak up? Should I, just say, don't go? But then it's also your responsibility, and it has to be their responsibility. So it was very hard. At the end, they are together in Los Angeles with Maricela's husband. I've been there twice with them. After that, it was a difficult crossing because the kids crossed with fake papers, but somebody from husband's family who had papers came to fetch them and took them in the car. But Maricela, since one of the girls, actually, when they were crossing her, she got really nervous, so they brought her back. So they had to pay more money for a second crossing. So Maricela ran out of money, and when the kids were all right, she decided to cross in a cheaper way, and she got lost in the desert and she almost died. And a biker, an American biker, found them because she was alone with a coyote by then, and actually drove them to a safe place and had water for them. And right now they are in a difficult situation because one thing was when the father is here and is working for money, he can live in a very small place and share the rent with a lot of people and don't spend money on almost anything and send the money to Mexico, and then the money in Mexico is worth more, so that their economic situation is much better. But now the whole family is here, and his wages are the same, but they need to rent a house for themselves. He has to pay for education and transport for the kids and stuff. And now it's really, really hard because they actually not, they are spending everything that he's making, and they have debts, and so they're thinking of going back. It's one of the things we really wanted with this film is not to say it's bad to leave, stay, or it's bad to stay, it's wonderful there. You have families like Francisco that came here, stayed here 23 years, came back, bought his ranch, and made his father this homage with his money and his guilt of not being there with his parents. You have also Jose Elias that decided to stay in Mexico and to be with his family, but he's always confronted by, he has to justify himself all the time why he didn't leave. And you have somebody that left, came back, like Rodolfo, and in the film you can see his cucumbers, and he did all right back then, but a year from that crop, all his money was gone and he had to come back again. So it's very difficult to put the right or wrong. To call migration a problem is very dangerous. It's a phenomenon. If it was a problem, that would mean that there is a solution to it, and I don't think that there's a solution to migration. I think that it's just how Mexico and United States, in this case, will have to accept the consequences of this phenomenon and to help this phenomenon become something that both countries will be able to accept in a more human and friendlier way that they're doing it right now. But it's not a problem that is going to be solved. Just how are we going to live and how are we going to relate to this thing happening? What I think that it's very important to capture, because if not, it's very easy to say, you know, well, what is the Mexican government doing about this? Why don't these families don't have opportunities? It's their fault, you know, and that's it, you know. Or what is the American government doing about this? And that's it. And then you just take, you know, a problem or what you think that is a problem and just, you know, throw it to the responsibles for this and hope that one day they'll fix it, you know? And I don't think that that is going to do any. I think that on a personal level, it is we as individuals who have to understand this in a different level, to connect in a more emotional level, in order to keep on to see how are we as professionals, what are we doing to help this in our small world? How are we going to help this to have more people be aware of this side of the story, and what are we doing to give more opportunities to the people that have less opportunities, and start there, you know, and have the responsibility of each and every one making an opportunity.